And gentlemen of the press, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And just to begin by thanking you for coming through for this very short press briefing and showing up at short notice. Basically, we just want to address 3 issues, and that will be it. Number 1 is the issue surrounding the medical evacuation of patients out of the country by government. We want to make it very clear from the onset that government has continued to evacuate patients from all walks of life to various destinations for various medical attention. Of great interest, you will note that the government, through the Ministry of Health, has continued to evacuate citizens. If you want, you may refer to them as ordinary citizens, but all Zambian citizens are citizens, and there is no citizen that is extraordinary. And therefore, the government has continued to evacuate citizens of this country to various destinations for various medical conditions and procedures. You'll be interested to note that we do send many people to India and places like Tanzania and places like South Africa, where we have agreement with medical facilities there to help our people with different ailments that we are not able to handle adequately within our country. Mostly these are to do with cancer and issues to do with serious medical conditions. But as government, we have realized that it is not sustainable to continuously send people for medical evacuation, and that is why your government has decided that we will not only revamp and rehabilitate the Cancer Diseases Hospital in Lusaka at the University Teaching Hospital, but a similar facility is currently and underway being built on the Copper Belt, and another one being built in Southern Province in Livingstone. State-of-the-art cancer diseases hospitals to ensure that we facilitate for our people through Southern Province, Lusaka Province, and Copper Belt Province, so that we get to a point where we do not need to evacuate. Still on evacuations, it is important for the country to note that the evacuation of the late FDD leader, Madam Edith Nawakwi, may her soul rest in peace, was ordered by His Excellency the President, who ordered the evacuation of Madam Nawakwi together with the former First Lady, Madam Vera Chiluba, for medical attention in South Africa. But a lot has been said wanting to insinuate that the president looked at Madam Nawakwi like an enemy. She may have been a political opponent, but never an enemy. And it may interest the nation to know also that her ailment has been long coming. And even at the time when her condition was advancing and deteriorating, as you know, with cancer, you keep changing regimes as the stages advance, and the medication thereof also changes, and in most cases it becomes more and more expensive. There was a period that Madam Nawakwi's medicines changed and became more expensive, and it was a little bit difficult for our fallen mother to be able to afford. Again, His Excellency the President ordered that government procures that medicine for her. And government has been procuring that medicine. So even prior to the evacuation, government was already taking care of Madam Edith Nawakwi as it is taking care of many other citizens, even through NEMA, that also are on cancer treatment. I just want to make it very, very clear that the evacuation of our leader, Madam Nawakwi, should never be seen as a favor being done to a political figure, but rather an obligation being done to a citizen, as she was a citizen like any other citizen. And I want to repeat that there are many, many Zambian citizens that are being evacuated at government expense. And solution to that is to ensure that we put in place facilities that will be able to take care of our people locally and within, and that is what we are doing currently at Livingstone, UTH, and Ndola. So let us desist from politicizing this demise. Let us give Madam Nawakwi an honorable funeral, befitting funeral, and desist from throwing about unnecessary talk and politics around the unfortunate incidents that has resulted in the demise of Mama Nawakwi. And again I state, may her soul rest in peace. We want to take the opportunity to wish Mama Evacuation all the best and a quick recovery, even as she is receiving medical care in South Africa. The second issue I want to address is also the issue surrounding Mr. Geoffrey Walia Mwamba, also known as GBM. There is a lot of insinuation that suggests that this government has blocked the possible evacuation of Mr. Mwamba to a facility of his choice to go and look at the ailment with which he is afflicted. I want to make it very clear and put it on record that government has in no way refused or blocked Mr. Mwamba from being evacuated. There was an earlier attempt that was made for Mr. Mwamba to be evacuated to a named hospital in South Africa. But that hospital wrote to us and to the family and stated that because of the status of Mr. Mwamba being a convict, they were not interested to attend to him and therefore declined that he must go and attend hospital. The family then made other arrangements with another named hospital again in South Africa, and that hospital accepted that even in his current status as convict or prisoner, they would attend to him. As logistics were being put in place and arrangements were being made, as you know, for a prisoner to leave the country and go and be in hospital there, Mr. Mwamba needs to be guarded 24/7. And therefore, there must be prison warders that will have to travel with Mr. Mwamba to ensure that they remain guard 24/7 around him. As those arrangements were being made, the authorities in South Africa contacted government here and stated that owing to the status of one being a prisoner, a convict, they said they would get back to us and tell us when to allow Mr. Mwamba to travel or when they will allow Mr. Mwamba to enter their country. We are still waiting, and the family is aware, because some of these arrangements were also being made by the family, and they are aware that the authorities in South Africa have said to us and the family to hold on. They will tell us when they can allow for Mr. GBM to be taken to South Africa. So this whole talk of trying to suggest that he's being blocked, people are being vindictive, the president does not want Mr. Mwamba to be taken out, He wants him to suffer here. It has nothing to do with the president. This government has said, we have no issues, he can go, provided he meets the conditions. Condition which one is that he's guarded 24/7 because he's a prison. Condition which his family and himself have said, we have no problem, we oblige. So now we are only at a point when we are waiting for the authorities in South Africa to give us a green light or go ahead to allow for Mr. Mwamba to be taken to South Africa. So there is nobody who is blocking Mr. GBM from being evacuated for medical purposes. However, government has ensured that the best medical care is being given to him. That is why he's being attended at Mainasoko Military Hospital, to ensure that the best care is given to him. So it is wrong to insinuate and suggest that Mr. Mwamba is being punished and that Mr. Mwamba is not liked by the president. There is no issue to do with liking and not liking here. It's simply the law being followed. Lastly and thirdly, I also want to inform the nation that former president and 60th Republican president, Dr. Edith Lungu, is doing well. He also is in South Africa for treatment. He called me a couple of days ago. He was checking on me to check on my health, and we had a chat. And even during that conversation, President Lungu informed me that he was done with his chemotherapy and that he was now just going for review so that then the doctors can determine what the next step is. Maybe is to continue with another session of chemotherapy, or maybe is to come back home. The doctors will determine it. But he was feeling better and well. We joked. We were even laughing at each other. And former president even said, well, I was worried. I was thinking that you are very sick, but it looks like you are doing a bit better. And I was also saying to him that, no, Your Excellency, I think that you are better off and I'm worse off. And we had our usual, chat around sickness and so on. But there's one thing that struck me, and I want the nation to know and understand. Let us give President Lungu an opportunity to rest and recuperate, and desist from dragging him into our politics. There are way too many statements being made in his name. This is not the time to drag President Lungu into politics. This is the time to allow President Lungu to rest. It is also a time that as a nation we come together and pray for President Lungu. We are a Christian people belonging in a Christian nation. And when we are affected, we take to God. That's who we are. We take to God. We are a people of God. Our former president right now needs our prayers. Even at the time former President Rupiah Banda was afflicted by cancer, as a country, we took to pray for him. And I ask citizens that we desist from dragging President Lungu into politics and take to our knees to pray for our former president. It is not good to keep writing all these statements in his name. I saw another statement that was written yesterday over the demise of Madam Nawakwi, And so many things were put there. I can confirm to you that that's not President Lungu saying those things. It's the usual Balu. Characters, preachers of hate, doom and naysayers that want to fight their political battles, but because they are cowards, they will not do it in their name. They will drag the name of former president and say he said it, when in fact he didn't. And if you must know, former President Lungu and President Hakainde Hichilema speak to one another. And from time to time, His Excellency the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, calls President Lungu to check on his brother, to wish him well, and to ensure that all is well. And even when I was having that conversation with President Lungu, I said to him, you know, the country thinks that you two don't talk, but I'm aware you two talk to each other. And he laughed. He said, it's you people who follow us. You, the people around the President and the people around me, you are the ones giving this impression that there is enmity between the two of us. There's zero enmity between President Lungu and President Hakainde. So let's all desist from exacerbating what does not exist. There is no enmity between the two leaders. They talk to each other, they wish each other well, and they keep checking on each other from time to time. I want to end by taking the opportunity to appeal to the family of former President Lungu to take charge of the former president and cut out all these political clowns that are using and abusing former President Lungu's name, reputation, and demeanor to push their political agendas. Let them do their own politics. Let them say what they want to say in their names. Leave the former president out. And as a family, take charge. Take charge of the man. Take charge of the grandfather. Take charge of the father. Take charge of the brother. He needs a lot of rest. He needs a lot of care. He needs a lot of support. And he needs all of us, our prayers. Let us pray for former President Lungu. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Unless you have questions? Yes?
Yes, Alphonse is my name. I just want to find out from you regarding the evacuation of Zambians to specialized hospitals outside the country to pay for this country. In terms of how much has government been losing in terms of evacuating patients?
Well, it's a substantial amount. I don't have the figure on my fingertips right now to say. But I will tell you this. Firstly, I disagree with you that government has been losing resources by sending its citizens for specialized treatment. But I will rephrase your statement and say government has been using, not losing, using resources to do that. Whose money? Taxpayers. Who's been evacuated? Taxpayers. That's usage, not wastage. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, PS. My question also is similar to you, but you mentioned to say SA as you're waiting for SA to give you leeway to evacuate GBM. I understand you also mentioned to say you've got some agreement with other countries like Tanzania. Have you also taken time or looking at the possibility of taking him to another country instead, since SA is still trying to decide if he can go there or not?
Remember that the choice of a hospital and destination is of Mr. Geoffrey Waliamamba and his family, not government. They are the ones that know which facility they want to go to. So they make those arrangements. Our goal is just to ensure that we facilitate, and considering his status as a prisoner, that is looked after 24/7. Okay, we can call it quits. Thank you very much. See you next time.